Okay, so welcome. Yep, start the strip down process of the video today. As you can see, guitar's laid out in front of us, good to go. We're going to strip it completely, taking everything off, and then take a look and see what sort of what we've got to work with. Okay, so let's make a start. Firstly then, take the strings off. Okay, so that's the strings off then. Let's move on, and I think firstly we'll remove the neck. The neck itself, yeah, it's showing some signs of use, obviously. It's a vintage guitar from the 60s. Lots of work to do. I've just noticed here the actual nuts come off in my hand. Maybe salvageable, may not be, we'll take a look. So, let's move on to the neck. Let's flip it over. As you can see, wear and tear on the back from the years. Yeah, this is all going to be stripped off though. We are going to refinish this guitar in a colour matched colour that the guitar is currently. So let's just whip the plate off. As you can see then, screws, yeah, we've got 4 longer neck plate screws, and one is at the top of the neck where it joins the body with a small shorter screw, as you can clearly see that there on the body. Reusing all the hardware, yeah, it's not in too bad a condition. We want to keep that vintage feel. So we're going to reuse all that. That should then be the neck now loose and free. Let's flip it back over and see. Yeah, pretty sure it is. I can see that it's now come away. Oh, we lost a bit of the bridge. Okay then, let's take a look at that. So that's the neck now off. Should be able to just lift it out. And there we are. That's the neck off, as you can see. It's got sort of a tenon style join that is a bolt on, which is slightly different to what you would see in a modern guitar. Some writing on there. I think that must be a date or a year it was made. We'll take a look at that later on. Okay, let's emphasize on the body then. So let's now take off the Tremolo system. Firstly though, we'll take a look at the bridge. The bridge is the most simplest design I've ever seen when it comes to a guitar bridge. As you can see, it's just some simple pieces that loosely sit in each other to create a bridge. Piece of bar stock with notches cut into it for the various different string sizes that the guitar uses. That lays within the bar and therefore then sits onto the adjustable posts on a plate that is attached to the guitar body. Very simple. Okay, now I'm going to remove the bridge plate from the body. Yeah, just 2 screws that hold that in place. And there we have it. As you can see, that's the main plate that the bridge sits on. Okay, moving on then, let's take a look now at the Tremolo system. Yeah, it looks like we are going to have to move the springs to get access to the screws to take the Tremolo system off. Okay, let's get a look. 3 springs, very simple, just pop off like so. That then releases the tension and it gives access to them mounted screws. 6 in total to remove to take the plate off. Good idea when doing this also, guys, that all the screws for the corresponding parts of the guitar, keep it all together, as when we put it back together it's going to make it a lot easier. One more. Get in there. There we go, starting to lift now. There's the final screw out, as you can see. That's it now away. Okay, as you can see there's some wire under here. I'm assuming that that is an earth strap to earth the wiring system on the inside to get rid of that buzz. If we didn't have that in place, we'd have a lot of buzz through the electrics. So we'll just leave that in place for now, and we'll come back and look at that later on once we look at the electrics. Okay, next then, let's move on now to the covers. So you can see you've got 2 metal chrome covers that cover the electrics on the inner of the body and house the switches and the jack point of the guitar. So we're going to remove these then. Some damage to the screws. Hopefully there we can still reuse them. They're not too bad. Screws removed on that side. Let's take a look in here. Okay, so there's your main electrics, very old, looks like it's never been tampered with, all original. As I said, this guitar currently works, so hopefully we can do minimal work in here, make sure everything's cleaned up. I think one of the pots is or does have an issue, so we may have to replace that unless we can try and get that cleaned and see if we can get a better working system overall. Okay, let's move on then. We'll now move on to the pickups from the main body. Strange design, 4 pickups on 2 black plates that look like spacers to create lift. Therefore moving the pickups up and down as they are body mounted to adjust the height towards the strings. So if I think I'm looking at this correctly, if we remove the black plates, they should just lift away as a 4 unit. Let's see. Yeah, so as you can see, self-mounted unit onto the black plate there, so both pickups are mounted to that, therefore fairly simple when it comes into installing these. We just lay them on and fasten it to the body. Has this necessary routing channels there for the wires and screws to sit to flush to the body. Looks like some water damage or some kind of water issues been involved at some point, but we can square that away. That's one off. Let's remove the other side. Okay, that's the other side out. And as you can see, that also then just comes away. Similar in design, routing channels for the wires. Very basic, yeah. Okay. Move these to one side while we just take a look at the next cover. Okay, so that's the next plate 3 then. We're just going to lift that now and take a look. Yeah, as thought, there is a wire here that runs through the body for the earth strip or earth loop, whatever you want to call it, which then connects to the wiring loom, overall earthing the strings, therefore preventing that hum throughout the electrics. Okay, that's now removed. It's just come away. Yeah, that will just be resoldered back on. We'll leave that in place for now. Okay guys, and that's pretty much it. As you can see, all that's left to come off really is the strap buttons for simplest task. Yeah, another associating date mark to the neck. I assume that's what that is. Yeah, as I said, what we're going to do is we're going to strip this body completely, remove the paint, take a look at the woodwork underneath and repair any major damage as in chips. Yeah, light sand and then refinish in a similar colour to what the body is now, or as close as possible to the colour of the body now. Okay, let's remove the strap buttons lastly. Okay, as you can see, that's it, down to the bare timber body of the guitar. Fairly simple build, nothing too elaborate. Yeah, it's all come to on a way fairly easy. Yeah, we're just going to now obviously get this cleaned up as much as possible, remove that old paint, and then look at refinishing the body. Okay, we'll just put that to one side. Then we're just going to quickly now look at components on the neck and the tuners to remove those and then go from there. So the neck itself then, as you can see, it's really grimy. It does need a good clean, and the frets, I've got some dips in. They are going to need looking at. Very thin fret wire on this neck. Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do some work on them to bring them up to a good standard. The nut itself has just come off, which is there. Yeah, hopefully we can possibly reuse that. If not, we'll get another one and replace that. So flip her over, let's take a look at the tuners. Vintage style tuners, as you can see. 6 in the line, open faced tuners. Not the best, to be fair, they don't feel the best. However, we would like to try and keep these if possible. Yeah, they are what has come on the guitar, and we're going to try and reuse them if we can. Give them a good clean up, but not too thorough. Just make sure they function as they should, and then we'll go from there. Stamp on the neck, model number 1977. I assume that is also the date stamp. So yeah, as you can see, 70s era guitar. I think this is a Series 2, and the reason for that is looking online. This particular guitar neck has no truss rod. The Series 3 has a plate that goes over this section here, separate to the main plate, this plate here. And it's cut off at this point, and the separate plate moves away, and therefore under that is the truss rod adjustment screw. So therefore the Series 3 did have a truss rod and the Series 2 didn't. So let's move on then, let's remove the tuners. Just take a look if they're coming away fairly easy. Yeah, that's not a problem at all. Slight bit of stiffness there, but I think we should be good. I think it's just the locating plastic grommet that's in the face of the headstock. We're going to have to knock them through from the other side. Okay, that's the tuners then off the headstock of the neck. Yeah, as you can see, the grommets are still in place. They're going to have to be knocked out from the other side. Also, we've got the Orbit 4 badge. Whether that is original, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, so we will try to save that and remove it and then put it back on after the headstock's been repainted and refinished.